little girl loves little trolls. But what do guys wish for?
Battle trolls are out of control! Battle trolls! Big-haired dudes with bad attitudes, born to battle. Even other battle trolls. Troll Call, Trollminator, conTROLL, Nunchuck Troll, Bullseye Troll and the Troll Net Launcher, Sven Troll and his Trollosaurus. Battle trolls are out of control! Trolls and troll sets each sold separately.
Alright, hey guys, and welcome back, as this week I'm taking a look at a line of action figures made by Hasbro that were out of conTROLL, the Battle Trolls. The Battle Trolls were produced by Hasbro in 1992 in response to the Trollmania craze of troll-related toys flooding the marketplace in the early 90s, and Hasbro wasn't going to be left out. Just like similar troll toy lines I've taken a look at before, like the Stone Protectors or Troll Force, the action figures were a reimagining of the Good Luck Trolls that originally came out in the 1960s, but their popularity had died off in the late 1970s. More than likely, it was this reason that Trolls saw a resurgence in the early 90s, since the trademark Troll dolls had not been popular for over a decade, so the licensing was probably very cheap for toy companies to purchase and rebrand as their own generic lines of Troll action figures. Battle Trolls were slightly more successful than most lines of Troll toys, with a line of 26 different action figures, ranging from versions of the Terminator, Count Dracula, ninjas, and even Rambo. The figures stood between 3.5 to 4.5 inches high, and were only articulated at the waist. They each came with 2 firing projectile accessories, and some were even sold in a 2-pack and came with their own vehicles like dinosaurs. The line was moderately successful for Hasbro, as the Battle Trolls were produced up until 1993, as the troll craze finally started to fizzle out.
Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. This week I wanted to take a look at another interesting and obscure line of troll-related action figures, and that's the Battle Trolls made by Hasbro in 1992. So these are kind of different from the Troll Force and Stone Protector lines of toys that I've taken a look at before, and that's because these are larger and chunkier troll action figures. So they definitely have a different look and stylized theme to them. These were made in 1992, right in the early 90s, when you had that resurgence of the trolls and troll dolls gaining popularity back in pop culture for whatever reason, which I suspect it was just toy manufacturers were running out of ideas to, make up some new line of action figures, and they were just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And the Trolls, since they've been around since the 60s, was probably a very cheap and easy license to acquire. Wouldn't surprise me if, just with the modifications to the faces and stuff, that probably some toy manufacturers didn't even pay for the licenses, just modified it, came up with their own things, and may have even been, in the fair use market at that time, and that could be why you saw a lot of these toys come back when Trolls, for most of the mid-70s through the mid-80s, the Troll dolls had just completely disappeared. They were not around for a very, very long time. So this is just another reimagining and reiteration of those, original Good Luck Trolls, now trying to get into the world of He-Man and G.I. Joe and what have you. Brave Star action figures. Now they're in a world that they kind of never belonged in the first place. But it's neat, and you got a lot of different variations and versions because of that. So these guys stand anywhere from about 3.5 to 4.5 inches tall when you move the hair all the way up. And this guy here is Sergeant Troll. Now, if you can believe this, Hasbro actually made 26 individual figures. I mean, wow, that is a lot of figures for such a small, weird, and obscure line. And, a lot of them were your typical, just generic figures, where you had, like, ninjas, sports stars, army guys, wrestlers, all that same type of easy, generic stuff that didn't have to worry about licensing or paying anything to, anyone the rights for, because it was just generic theme, so just generic army guy, generic wrestler, generic spaceman, what have you. One thing that is interesting, there were 2-packs of these that were sold, which are very rare to find, and they actually made some that came with vehicles. Now, there's some pretty good source material for the different figures. Most of those are pretty well documented, but the ones with the vehicles you really can't find anything on, and they're actually pretty rare. Aside from being carded, they're not very valuable at all. They're just really obscure, and you don't see them very much. So now, like I said, these do stand between 3.5 to 4.5 inches tall. They each would have came with 2 accessories, and almost all of them, except for 2 or 3, had accessories that would have shot a projectile. Now, they are articulated, but just not very much. You can move this guy here at the waist, and that is pretty much it. So for being this kind of squishy rubber type of material, you know, I'm actually surprised that you can move them at all, because most troll dolls were not articulated in any way, shape, or form. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at him here. And you can see I like putting his hair this way because he kind of looks more like Rambo or something, you know, off to the side. And he's got this nice dark army green bandana going around his forehead, so he kind of looks like, you know, Rambo or like Arnold or something there. And he's got this mean look on his face, got those nice blue eyes. That's a really good ink and color they use in the eyes. They're actually very clear and show up nicely. He's got stitches on the side of his face here, big ugly nose, big grin, and some like cuts and stuff on his nose and his cheek from being in battle. He also has this bandolier that goes around the front here, nice black bandolier. He's got dog tags that he's wearing around his neck there, and he's got a bunch of different armbands on his left arm. And then he also has a combat knife strapped to his upper arm, as well as what looks to be either a watch or a compass strapped to his wrist. And the bandolier continues around on the back, and he has different pouches for other stuff that he would have been carrying into battle with him that are on his cargo pants there. And then the weirdest thing about this, well, the cargo pants look neat. They have the orange, kind of like a floral or like almost a nuclear radiation type of look pattern with the orange and green, which that looks pretty neat, I think. But look at the boots. Like, how goofy is this? He's got these black combat boots, and his big feet are, you know, they burst through the front of the boots, and then you can see his heels, you know, ripped through the back. So either he just has like really gigantic feet, or, you know, whatever army that he's a part of, they don't give their guys very good boots. So that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I get it. It's probably just on the gimmick. He's a troll, and trolls are ugly, so of course his feet ripped through the boots. And I guess that kind of does make it look neat, but it looks a little silly too. So just weird. I like the two-tone orange. I think that looks really good with the bright fluorescent like neon orange, and then this weird kind of like in between like tangerine orange. And he's kind of like three-tone really when you get the orange in his camo pants there with his cargo pants. So I think overall, like, he looks pretty good. And this is the difference that you can see when, it's kind of odd to even say this, but when Hasbro decided to take a whack at a troll line. You can definitely see there's I think a better level of quality here. Not as far as with articulation, but as far as with the detail and the painting and everything. Because, you know what, not many people are going to be very interested in these lines of, you know, troll action figures and stuff. But I think for what it is, this is pretty well done. And the fact that they did a line all-inclusive of 26 figures and 2 vehicles, like, wow, that's some dedication to a line that probably not many people were very interested in to begin with. And I know growing up, you know, in the 90s and stuff, I don't remember many people being interested in troll action figures of any type whatsoever. So good on Hasbro for stepping up to the plate and giving it their best shot, even though this lasted only about a year from 1992 until 1993. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this look at Hasbro's Battle Trolls. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this weird and obscure line of toys made by Hasbro in 1992 with the Battle Trolls, and I will see you next time.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.